This time we are going to make birch trees. I'm going to show you how I do it. I take masking tape and I tear it a bit at the side. Just to get it a bit uneven. I don't want the birch tree to be exactly straight. Okay, a little bit tilting. Take another tape, tear it also, because I'm going to have that on the other side of the birch tree. Oh, it's sticky. Okay. I find this easier when I stick the tape to the table. It doesn't go anywhere. You can do this also by putting a straight piece of tape without tearing and make the uneven sides with masking fluid. That is also an option. Okay, a little bit too thick there. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, I did it. Okay. Then I am going to take more tape, masking tape. I don't want just one tree, I want more trees. If it's sticking out too much at a spot, and then you can have a branch grown out from that place. Okay, tilting it a little bit. Put it on the back side so it won't bother me. Okay, this paper is stuck to the table so it won't move. So I know that it won't get outside of the camera. It's not nice to see that when the video is done. Okay. Secure it, press so it doesn't leak in water or pigments underneath. So now I'm going to wet the paper, just water. I had a watercolor course last Saturday. So I have still some of the pigments that I'm going to use. Okay, just let it soak in. I have put some water in the palette also to wet the, to moist the pigments. If I want something, some pigments from the palette. I have plates here on the side too with some pigment. I don't know if I'm going to use from the palette. Maybe the plates here is enough. I think I'm going to use this brush some today. Here you can use the whole side of the brush, and you can use the tip, the point as well. It's very soft. It's Rosa Stream Synthetic, size 8. Okay, I'm looking at the paper from the side, so it looks like I got it wet everywhere on the whole surface. I think I'm going to start with some blue, and this is Indigo. Just drop in a few. As the when I take off the masking tape, I want the shape of the birch tree to show, so I must put some of the pigment on the side of the tape, otherwise it won't show. But not everywhere. This is leaves from far away. That's why I make them blue. Bluish is more far away. Okay. When you paint watercolor, you start with the background, the space that is far away. Some a little bit sharper. Not much because it's far away. Okay. Try to leave some of the whites also, that is light coming through the branches, the leaves, foliage. Okay, I will now take some Perylene green from the plates. I am painting on Saunder waterford. That paper is quite soft, so it doesn't stay wet that long. It's 100% cotton. There it was a bit dry. You can use a spray bottle with water if it gets dry. Just soften the edges a bit. got company from one of my cats here, but I don't want her too close now when I'm making the video. Now I'm going to take some Undersea green, that is a bit warmer green with some yellow in it, so that I get some foliage closer. The bluish green is more far away. No, that blue is more far away. I think that this is going to look lovely. I want to keep it fresh, not overworked. There it is a bit dry. I wet the sides a bit so it can float out. You see, I leave it so that I can see some of the blue and some of the blue-green. Now I put the yellow-greenish pigment last. It's nice to have some hard lines also. So don't make everything soft if you don't like it. Some hard lines in the front, closest area. It's okay. For variety. For some variety. You can have some foliage from trees that are outside of the paper, so don't keep it here in the middle of the paper. Think outside the box. As the paper is drying, you get harder edges. Yeah, I think I want to soften the edges a bit. I wet the brush and blot it a bit so it's just moist, and just brush gently. Now the paper is just a little bit wet there, so the pigment starts flowing out again. I think I want some more yellow greenish. I used Undersea green. You take what you have and put down here, because I want some more dense bush area close to the ground. This way you also get some variety. Some light areas in between the bushes foliage. Okay, I will dry that up. I dry this now because I don't want the pigment to flow together anymore. I want to save these white and light areas also. I think it's dried. Okay, I'm going to take this off. Gentle at the edges so that you don't tear the paper when pulling off the masking tape. Here it's all straight, but I'm going to use some very dark pigments and paint it just outside this edge to get it some uneven, make it some a little bit uneven. That is also a way of doing it. Okay, I will first of all take this Dale Rowney Sapphire 10 and I wet the tree trunk except from a small area at the edge that I want to keep white because I want the light to hit the tree some, but you have to keep it very thin, very thin. Got some backlight here, and it doesn't look that nice if it's too big of white area. I need it just thin. Okay, and that side too. I think it's easier actually to use this flat brush, but you can do it with the round brushes also, but you need a good tip, a good point on the brush. So you can get close to the edge except from the small white area closest to the edge. I will do one tree at a time, so I don't have to think about the other tree trunk drying. No need to hurry. No need to hurry. I will paint the lightest pigments first. Leave the darkest darks to the last, because otherwise when I wet the darkest colors it will flow out and make everything look grayish on the trunk. I think I will have some indigo on this, because that is the pigment that I use for the distant foliage. I want to pick that up in the tree trunk also. Think about making it vary the spots. Don't put it on an even distance from each other. Now I think I will have some burnt sienna. Take that too from the plate. I want to use up some of the pigments from Saturday's watercolor course. Okay. I think I will take some permanent rose as well, because I want some cool red here. Just a little. You know I like color. Okay, now I want to dry that again. If you don't want to let the pigment flow out too much, you have to dry it a bit between. Okay, I go and do the same to the other tree trunk. You see here you got a thin edge that is white. Close to the edge on the other side, just leave a thin white line there, also closest to the edge. Just a thin line. Okay, some indigo. Some burnt sienna. There's so many ways to make birch trees. I like color. I want to increase the feeling of what I get outside when I'm out canoeing and out in the nature. So I paint even more pigment than you see out in the nature. I want to increase that beautiful feeling I have outside. Okay, I dry that too. It's okay. You see here the sharp edges of the undersea green. It makes it look a bit closer. So if you want, you can always work more with it to increase the depth of the painting. But now we work with the birch trees. Okay, I think I will use this again. Now I'm going to take some Paynes gray. Let's see if I have it here in my little box. Let's see. No, I think I will have another one. Here I have Paynes gray. The paper is dry, and I take some Paynes gray. I'm going to mix it a little bit first. Okay. You see here I can start with some of this here. I'm painting outside of the edge. That is one way of making the edge uneven, as I didn't pull this side of the masking tape. Remember to make some dark from different sides. Sometimes from the left, sometimes from the right side. I'll take some water and place it on the side of the dark to let it flow out some. If you want here, you can use a card or something to scrape the dark. I can show you that. And take a piece of the card. Plastic card I cut in pieces, small pieces, and just put it on and drag. You can also take the corner, make sharper lines if you like. If you scrape with the corner, that the pigment will flow inside of that scraped area, make lines. Just to make it a little bit harder, not very soft pigment spots all the time. You drop in some pigment. I drop in some darker here around the edge so that it doesn't show through. Remember that white line at the edge, so you don't paint over it. Sunspot doesn't, and that doesn't make anything look wrong, but try to save as much possible from the white. Okay. Here is quite a lot. Maybe I put some indigo as well, drop it in. So it's not all grey. Makes it look a little bit softer. You pick up the color from the background also. This is a bigger tree trunk, therefore it is more shadow on the back side. Think about the sun coming from the back of the trees. Light, it's shining this way. So I'm going to wet the middle of the tree trunk. Okay. I think I'm going to take a bigger brush. Okay. I am going to take the Paynes gray. Okay, I put it straight down. This is shadow color. not so thick, because I want the colors to shine through a bit. Okay, I dry that. Okay, now I go on with the dark spots, Paynes gray again. A little bit more from the pigment. Make some just spots also, and then we use the plastic card to pull. I think that this with the plastic card needs some practice, so you might be thinking of practice on another piece of paper before you do this on the painting. I noticed that on the watercolor course I had last Saturday, that they thought it was quite difficult to do it. You have to press quite hard. You can put some more spots, do it again, and just leave it the spots like they are. Here you see you pull it out. Just pull. This way you get some lines. And just drop in some pigment at some spots. Put in some indigo as the last tree. Let it float out a bit. Remember, it gets a lot lighter when it dries. Put on quite a lot of pigment. You can make some lines with the corner. At the top of the tree, make some angry mouth. And at the bottom you make happy mouth. Straight in the middle. can do this with a small brush later on. Okay, let's go on with a Paynes grey. More pigment. Try to vary the distance between and the shape of the darks. Some indigo. I'm not much of a fan of painting birch trees all grey. It's boring, I think. That's my way. Okay, some pulling, scraping. It's good that you like different, right? Otherwise it would be boring. All art would look the same. Okay, now I will go on with some sharper lines, I think. With the sharper lines with the foliage and the greens. Just some. Just to increase the depth of the painting. Remember to group foliage, not one leaf at a time. Make groups of leaves. Groups of leaves. Let it go all the way out to the edge, because there are trees outside of the paper as well. Remember that? And leave the light spots. Don't paint so as much as to make them disappear. You might have to save the whites. Let the blues and cooler greens see through the closest foliage. You need to show both sharp edges and you need to show soft edges to make the depth of the painting. Increase the depth. Get to the ground bushes. See, I put some more pigment at the corners and the bottom of the paper. Okay, I dry that because now we are going to work with the branches. I don't want the dark branches to spread all over the paper. Okay, I will make some branches. I take this first for some thicker ones, and I use the Paynes gray. Paynes gray. More water in the pigment for the background, for the distant branches, and darker for the closest branches. Some weak and some strong pigmented. While doing this, you can also take some water, only water in the brush, and just drip it inside the branches, so you make the pigment flow and it doesn't look that even. You get some variety and some softness in the painting. If you press hard with the brush, harder, the brush gets wider. If you lift it and just press with a tip, it's thinner. I am starting with a background, the distant branches. You can also make some broken lines. Here you see the foliage is covering some spots of the branch. If you put some water in the branch, you make the foliage show more at that spot. That looks nice. Vary the shape. You can also drop in pigment. You can drop in both pigment, you can drop in water. These distant branches are coming from behind the trees. I love it when the pigment is a bit shiny through. A bit transparent. Watercolor is a transparent medium. That's why I love it. There are some opaque colors, but all watercolors are transparent more or less. Yeah, I want some, these are from the back. See that I pull it there. One more from that side. Remember the broken lines to increase the depth. If you want it to be more transparent, you just, at some spot, you just work some with the brush to make the pigment go away a bit. Make it look more smooth. Some pigments make outer lines of the area you paint, and some make a more even shape when you paint it. That depends on the pigment, how it reacts. Okay, I think I am done with those bigger lines. I'm gonna take a thinner brush. This is Cotman Winsor & Newton rigger brush. Rigger brush is long. It holds a lot of pigment because it's long. So you can make long brushes with it. I'm going to take some more with Paynes Gray. I need some more. Some thinner lines. Remember to make them broken shapes with a rigger brush as well. Look where you have the closest leaves. Make them lines behind, not in front. This is mindfulness. Important details. But don't overdo it. A little can be enough. Less is more. Take some more. That paint dries up on the plate. I always, or most of the time, paint the branches from the tree trunk and out to the tip of the branches, the end of the branches. But when I show you, I do opposite sometimes because I don't want to hide. I want you to be able to see most of where I paint. These need some thin branches as well. You see what I do here when I get the closest foliage behind. It's a broken line. Do I need more somewhere? Oh. I dry this just a little bit. Okay, now we're going to work with the closest branches. I think I will have this again. Same pigment and a bit darker, Paynes gray. A bit darker. Darker because they are close to the viewer. Okay, I will take one here, starting from the middle there, because I want some growing out from the front of the tree also. You see here, I put this dark branch in front of the light area, then it looks even lighter at the back. It is higher contrast. Fill in where I want it even darker. Okay, I take some there from the middle. Do something else. I take some water and just put it on the edge here where it grows to soften that area a bit, and it can float out. Put some more pigment. That way it doesn't look so hard from where it grows out. Okay, I bring this in front of that tree. More narrow, then closer to the end of the branch. Here it is thicker, closer to the tree trunk. Okay, I'll take some water again to let it float out a bit. Okay, one here. You don't need to make all the dark branches thick. You can make some that are thinner also. They are new branches. Remember, variety is nice. Okay. Wet it at the growing point. I think I will take one there. This is a thicker tree. I want a big, quite big branch there. Wet it at the base. Make it darker if you need. You see, it's a good depth to the painting when you have weak, soft branches behind with a lot of water in it. And you have thicker and darker that seems to be closer to you. Here you can have some thin branches as well, but keep them dark to keep the depth. When I had my watercolor course this last Saturday, we did these Birch paintings. We kept it easier because most of them didn't, they hadn't been painting before. I'm keeping it more dense at this right side, because remember, variety is good. It keeps the painting from being boring. Make this really dark because I want that to be in front of that brush. The more close to the viewer, the darker, the less water you have in the mix. I think I will make some even more pigment on some of these spots of the bushes, just a little bit to increase the depth there. You can just make some of the old spots darker so that you still keep the weaker pigment at the back. Just fill in some. So you don't take away the distant pigments. Just some. I also like it to be darker at the edge. I'm going to put some indigo as well, just to vary the pigment a little bit. I think I like this. I'm going to end it. I hope you liked the tutorial. Remember, practice makes better. And if you make a mistake, just keep on, because mistakes you learn the most from. Stay painting, stay happy. Bye-bye.